What if I told you that most people today are living in quiet defeat? We scroll endlessly, compare ourselves to strangers, and chase comfort while our inner strength withers away. Life doesn't owe you fairness, attention, or approval. Yet we cling to these illusions, and each disappointment chips away at our resilience. Stoicism has been whispering truths for thousands of years, lessons so sharp they cut through the noise and expose what really matters. Marcus Aurelius faced war, betrayal, and death, yet he cultivated an inner fortress of calm and discipline. Today, you're going to confront 7 harsh life lessons Stoicism forces you to face. Truths that challenge your assumptions, strip away excuses, and forge mental toughness like steel. If you're ready to step out of illusion and build a mind that cannot be shaken, stay with me. Hit like, subscribe, and let's dive in. Your transformation starts now. 1. Life owes you nothing. Life doesn't owe you fairness. It doesn't owe you recognition. It doesn't owe you comfort. Yet we spend so much time believing it does, and suffering when it doesn't. Every day, we step into a world that seems to promise rewards for effort, loyalty for friendship, or acknowledgement for our work. When those expectations are unmet, frustration, anger, and disappointment take over. Modern culture teaches entitlement, the belief that people or life itself must serve our desires. But this illusion is the root of unnecessary suffering. Stoicism confronts this directly. Life owes you nothing, and realizing this is liberating. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, experienced betrayal, war, and loss every single day. He understood that expecting the world to comply with personal desires only breeds pain. The universe is not obligated to honor your comfort, ambitions, or ego. Instead, it provides a testing ground for virtue, resilience, and self-mastery. The power lies not in what life gives you, but in how you respond to it. Think about your own life. How often have you felt blindsided because someone should have acted fairly? Maybe a promotion went to a colleague or a friend broke a promise. The sting doesn't come from the event itself, but from your attachment to expectation. Epictetus said it best. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your peace is won by mastering your mind, not by controlling others. Here's a simple practice. Identify moments of irritation, envy, or resentment today. Ask yourself, does the world owe me this, or am I imposing expectation on what is beyond my control? Write down 3 situations from the past week where you felt wronged. Reflect on how entitlement amplified your suffering. Reframe your mind. Your value is inherent and not conditional on outcomes or recognition. Imagine this. You spent hours preparing a proposal at work, but a colleague claims credit or your boss overlooks your effort. Anger and frustration are automatic. A Stoic would pause, acknowledge their effort, and recognize that the outcome lies outside their control. The lesson isn't to stop caring, but to stop tethering your inner peace to someone else's actions. Action challenge. Today, pick one situation where you feel overlooked or wronged. Pause instead of reacting. Write down your expectations versus reality. Identify what you can control and let go of the rest. End with this affirmation. I owe the world nothing, and in return, I claim my peace. Understanding that life owes you nothing removes the chains of entitlement. It frees you to act with clarity, integrity, and strength. Each confrontation with this truth strengthens your resilience, grounding you in reality rather than illusion. 2. You are responsible for your emotions. Your feelings are yours. No one else controls them. Your reactions are your responsibility. Stop giving your power away. Every day, we blame circumstances, people, or the world for our emotional state. Traffic makes us angry. A colleague's comment frustrates us. Social media posts trigger jealousy or envy. The truth is, external events are neutral. It's your interpretation that decides whether you suffer. Stoicism teaches that mastery of your mind is the ultimate freedom. You cannot always control what happens, but you can control how you respond. Think about moments when someone cut you off in traffic, or when a friend canceled plans at the last minute. Most people erupt with anger or resentment, but that reaction is a choice, not a necessity. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By observing your own impulses, naming the emotions you feel, and deciding your response consciously, you reclaim authority over your inner world. Here's how to practice this today. Pause when triggered. Take 3 deep breaths. Ask yourself, am I reacting to facts or to my interpretation? Write down your immediate emotion and reframe it. Instead of, "They disrespected me," try, "Their action is neutral. I choose my reaction." Over time, this rewires your response patterns, making you less reactive, more resilient, and deeply at peace. Consider the workplace scenario. A manager criticizes your work publicly. The instinct may be embarrassment or defensiveness. A Stoic response is to observe the criticism without judgment, separate ego from facts, and act with reason rather than impulse. Your focus shifts from feeling victimized to improving, learning, and maintaining composure. The moment you stop allowing others to dictate your emotional state, you gain clarity and control that most people never experience. Action challenge. Identify one situation today that triggers frustration or anxiety. Pause, breathe, and write down your emotional response. Then ask, is this within my control, or am I projecting power onto the situation? Choose a calm, constructive action instead of letting your emotions dictate your behavior. Affirm to yourself, I'm responsible for my emotions. I choose my response. Owning your feelings is liberating. It transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. Each conscious choice strengthens your mental fortitude, making you resilient to provocation, setbacks, or external chaos. Remember, no one can rob you of peace unless you allow it. This lesson is the foundation for true self-mastery. The Stoic path to unwavering inner strength. 3. Suffering comes from attachment. What are you holding on to? What have you attached your happiness to? If you're holding on to something outside of you, you're setting yourself up for pain. Every day, we get attached to things. People, success, outcomes, material possessions. We think that once we get what we want, we'll feel complete. But attachment to anything external is a guarantee of suffering. Stoicism teaches us that true peace comes not from what we acquire, but from how we release our attachment to the world's fleeting pleasures. Imagine a scenario where you've worked tirelessly to achieve a goal, maybe a promotion, or to build your dream business. After months of effort, the goal finally seems within reach, only to be taken away by circumstances beyond your control. The crushing blow of disappointment isn't because you didn't achieve the goal, but because you've attached your self-worth to that outcome. This is the essence of Stoic thought. Happiness does not depend on external events, but on your internal response to them. Marcus Aurelius knew this well. As an emperor, he faced betrayal, loss, and constant struggle. Yet he maintained his tranquility, understanding that nothing outside his control had any real claim on his inner peace. He practiced detachment, not by abandoning the world, but by releasing his hold on the things that could not truly define him. Here's the hard truth. Attachment is an illusion that chains you to the world's uncertainties. When you define yourself by your possessions, relationships, or the validation of others, you invite disappointment and suffering. Your identity becomes fragile, dependent on something outside of your control. Stoicism teaches us that to live with true freedom, we must detach from the outcomes we desire. The goal isn't to stop striving or caring. It's to stop letting the outcome dictate your peace of mind. Think about something in your life that you're attached to. It could be a person, a job, a specific outcome, or even an image of how things should be. What would happen if that thing was suddenly taken from you? Would you be able to maintain your peace? The Stoic response is to practice negative visualization, imagining the loss of what we hold dear, to remind ourselves that attachment only strengthens the grip of suffering. Action challenge. Take a moment today to examine what you're attached to. Is it a person's approval, a job title, a material possession? Pause and ask yourself, what would happen if I lost this? Would my peace be disturbed? If it would, you've found where your attachment lies. Release the need to control that outcome. Reaffirm, I release my attachment to what I cannot control. I choose peace over possession. Letting go of attachment is not giving up. It's finding true freedom. When you no longer base your happiness on external things, you begin to experience life as it is, rich with possibilities, untethered by fear of loss. Each step in this practice leads you closer to the Stoic ideal, a life of tranquility, no matter the chaos around you. 4. You can't control people, only your response. You cannot control them, not your friends, not your colleagues, not even your family. All you control is yourself. Every day, we try to bend people to our will. We hope our opinions will be heard, our efforts appreciated, and our boundaries respected. When others disappoint or frustrate us, we blame them. Or worse, we blame ourselves for failing to make them act differently. Stoicism teaches that this is a trap. The only thing truly within your control is your own response. External events and other people's actions are neutral. It is your interpretation and reaction that create suffering or peace. Think about a workplace conflict. A colleague takes credit for your work. Your first instinct may be to argue, retaliate, or stew in resentment. These are all reactions that give away your power. The Stoic path is different. Observe without attachment, choose a rational response, and act only where you can influence the outcome. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that judging others' actions is pointless. What matters is maintaining virtue and clarity of mind. Even in personal relationships, this principle holds. Perhaps a friend cancels plans repeatedly, or a loved one refuses to understand your perspective. You cannot force them to behave differently. You can only manage your response. By focusing on your own thoughts, actions, and emotions, you reclaim control. Your inner state is independent of their choices. This is freedom in its purest form, not needing the world to be a certain way in order to be at peace. Here's a practical method. Whenever someone triggers irritation or disappointment, pause. Ask yourself, is this within my control? Can I change it? If the answer is no, release it. Breathe, respond calmly if necessary, or choose not to respond at all. Over time, this strengthens your self-mastery and prevents emotional drain from situations that you cannot dictate. Consider the modern example of social media. People post opinions or critiques that irritate or provoke you. You can't control what they write, like, or share. You can control how you engage. Scroll past, respond with composure, or disengage entirely. Each choice to act wisely builds resilience, while each choice to react impulsively surrenders your power. Action challenge. Identify one situation today where someone's behavior frustrates or upsets you. Pause and evaluate. Can I control this? If the answer is no, step back and focus on your response. Affirm to yourself, I cannot control others. I control my response. My peace is mine. Mastering this lesson transforms how you navigate relationships and conflicts. You stop wasting energy trying to manipulate others and start investing in the only thing that truly matters: your own mind. In the chaos of life, this principle is a Stoic superpower, a shield that preserves your calm, clarity, and dignity. 5. Pain is necessary for growth. Pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It is your mirror. Without it, you remain the same. Modern life trains us to avoid discomfort at all costs. We seek convenience, shortcuts, and comfort, thinking this will bring happiness. Yet comfort is often a trap, a slow erosion of resilience, courage, and self-mastery. Stoicism teaches that pain, when approached correctly, is the engine of personal growth. By facing challenges head-on, you forge mental toughness and character that luxury and ease cannot provide. Consider Marcus Aurelius. As emperor, he faced war, betrayal, disease, and personal loss. Every difficulty was an opportunity to practice virtue and fortitude. He knew that avoiding struggle weakens the mind, while embracing it strengthens it. In modern terms, think about intentionally taking on challenges: a demanding workout, difficult conversations, early mornings, or pushing through a creative block. These are voluntary hardships, small doses of discomfort designed to toughen your spirit. The principle is simple. Growth does not come from avoiding challenges. It comes from confronting them. The pain of failure, rejection, or fatigue becomes a teacher, not a tormentor, if you approach it with awareness. Each obstacle is a chance to build resilience. Each moment of resistance is a chance to refine patience, discipline, and focus. In this way, suffering is transformed from a burden into fuel for mastery. Here's a practical exercise. Pick one discomfort to face this week. It could be physical, like a cold shower, or mental, like tackling a task you've been avoiding. Approach it deliberately, with intention. Reflect afterward. What did this teach you about your limits? What did it reveal about your capacity to endure? Affirm your choice. Pain is my training ground. Every struggle strengthens me. When you embrace this lesson, you begin to see life differently. Pain is no longer something to flee. It is a tool for transformation. The Stoic warrior knows that comfort breeds fragility, while voluntary hardship cultivates unshakable strength. Each challenge faced, each fear confronted, and each obstacle endured builds the foundation of a mind that cannot be broken by circumstance or misfortune. 6. Memento Mori. Time is not promised. You are not guaranteed tomorrow. Every breath is borrowed. Every moment is finite. Yet we live as if time stretches endlessly. And in doing so, we waste the most precious resource we have. Modern life seduces us with the illusion of infinite time. We procrastinate, defer dreams, and linger in comfort, believing there will always be another chance. That vacation can wait. That apology can wait. That career move can wait. But life does not owe us extra hours. Stoicism has a blunt but powerful lesson. Remember that you will die, not to scare you, but to awaken you. Memento Mori. The awareness of death is not morbidity. It is clarity. It is urgent. It is the lens that brings priorities into focus. Marcus Aurelius, amid political turmoil, disease, and the relentless demands of empire, frequently reminded himself of mortality. He used this awareness to live fully in the present, to act with virtue, and to discard trivial distractions. Death, for him, was not a specter to fear, but a teacher to guide meaningful action. Imagine having that mindset, seeing every moment as precious, every conversation as a chance to connect, every task as an opportunity to act deliberately. How differently would you live if you truly understood that time is a loan, not a guarantee? Consider a typical day. You wake up, scroll through social media for hours, scroll past stories of achievement, envy, or drama, and convince yourself that you'll start tomorrow on your goals. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and suddenly you realize years have passed. What did you truly accomplish? What relationships did you nurture? What growth did you prioritize? The Stoic warrior doesn't wait for motivation or a convenient moment. They act now, because time is fleeting. Here's a powerful exercise. Write down 3 things you would regret not doing if you died tomorrow. They can be personal, professional, or emotional. Be honest. Feel the weight of that reality. Then, commit to acting on at least one of them today. This is not a morbid ritual. It is a clarifying lens that cuts through procrastination, distraction, and fear. The awareness of mortality sharpens decision-making and aligns action with values. Think about relationships. How often do we leave apologies unsaid, love unexpressed, or gratitude unspoken? We imagine there will be time later. Stoicism reminds us, later is never promised. The awareness that life is short urges us to act with courage, honesty, and compassion now. It transforms ordinary interactions into meaningful moments. Every email sent, every conversation had, every small act of kindness is magnified by the recognition of its impermanence. In your career and personal goals, the lesson is the same. Waiting for the perfect opportunity or timing is a trap. Waiting for certainty, approval, or validation delays growth and achievement. Stoics remind us, your time is now. Obstacles will arise, uncertainty is inevitable, and fear will attempt to immobilize you. Yet action, guided by virtue and focus, ensures that each day is spent in alignment with purpose, not in the idle postponement of life. Here's a Stoic practice for today. Set a timer for 5 minutes and write down the most important thing you could do right now that aligns with your values and long-term goals. Then do it. Don't overthink. Don't wait for the perfect circumstances. This is the essence of living with Memento Mori in mind, acting deliberately in the face of uncertainty, choosing to invest time where it matters most. Action challenge. Identify one area in your life where you've been procrastinating or taking time for granted. Commit to a specific, meaningful action today. Repeat the affirmation, I will not waste what I cannot reclaim. Today is all I'm promised. Living with the awareness of death is not bleakness. It is liberation. It forces clarity, removes trivial distractions, and magnifies the importance of every decision. Each day becomes a gift, each action deliberate, each relationship precious. Memento Mori is a call to live fully, to prioritize what truly matters, and to act courageously in the present. Remember, the clock is always ticking. No one can grant you more time, and no one can reclaim the moments you squander. The Stoic who understands this fearlessly faces life, embraces action, and cherishes each day. Death is inevitable, but a meaningful life is earned moment by moment, choice by choice, breath by breath. 7. Character is your only true possession. Your reputation can be stolen, your wealth can vanish, your achievements can be ignored. But your character, that is yours alone, untouchable, unshakable, eternal. In a world obsessed with appearances, social validation, and material success, it's easy to measure self-worth by how others see you. We chase likes, promotions, compliments, and applause. We fear judgment, rejection, or being overlooked. Modern life trains us to outsource our value to the opinions of others. Stoicism warns that this is a fragile foundation. Your peace, strength, and resilience cannot rely on external recognition. Only your character, the sum of your virtues, integrity, and choices, remains truly yours, even in the face of loss, betrayal, or hardship. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher, faced immense external pressures. Political intrigue, war, and plagues threatened his reign. Yet he constantly examined his own soul, asking, "Am I living in accordance with virtue?" He knew that power, accolades, and possessions are fleeting. What survives is the strength of character, the alignment between principle and action. Modern parallels are everywhere. A business failure, a betrayal by a friend, a public criticism, all can wound your ego, but they cannot touch the essence of who you are. Think about how often you've compromised your values to fit in, gain approval, or avoid discomfort. Perhaps you told a white lie to smooth over a conflict. Maybe you avoided a hard conversation to keep the peace. These choices chip away at your character quietly, often unnoticed until a crisis exposes the cracks. Stoicism teaches that it is better to stand firm in principle, even when it is difficult, lonely, or misunderstood. The long-term strength of your soul outweighs the temporary ease of compliance. Your character is cultivated through daily choices. Each decision, from how you treat a cashier to how you respond to a colleague's insult, builds the fortress of your integrity. It is shaped not in moments of convenience, but in moments of challenge. How do you act when no one is watching? Do you maintain honesty when lying would be easier? Do you show patience when anger tempts you? Do you honor promises when breaking them would benefit you? These are the crucibles where character is forged. Here's a modern example. Imagine a co-worker tries to take credit for your idea. You could respond with anger, gossip, or revenge. Or you could act with composure, assert boundaries calmly, and focus on the integrity of your own work. The choice may not earn immediate recognition, but it strengthens your character and builds lasting respect. The world may fail to notice, but your inner compass remains true. This is freedom. Freedom from dependence on approval, fortune, or external validation. Practical exercises to build character daily include reflection, journaling, and deliberate practice of virtues. Ask yourself each evening, did I act with courage, honesty, and integrity today? Did I honor my values even when it was uncomfortable? Identify one area where you fell short and plan a corrective action tomorrow. These small, consistent steps compound over time, building a life of unshakable moral strength. Action challenge. Today, choose one situation where you are tempted to compromise principle for convenience, approval, or comfort. Stand firm. Act with integrity, even if it goes unnoticed. Affirm to yourself, my character is mine alone. It cannot be stolen, only strengthened. Character is the ultimate possession because it is entirely within your control. No matter what chaos, loss, or betrayal occurs, a virtuous soul remains intact. Wealth can disappear overnight. Fame can fade in a moment. But the choices you make, your adherence to virtue, and the consistency of your actions define your eternal self. Stoicism teaches that focusing on what is within your control, your character, allows you to live with courage, dignity, and peace, no matter what the world throws at you. In closing, the Stoic warrior knows that life will test you relentlessly. Friends will fail, circumstances will disappoint, and fortunes will rise and fall. But if your character is strong, you cannot be defeated. Every action aligned with virtue reinforces your true wealth. Every compromise avoided preserves your strength. Every moment of integrity becomes a building block for an unshakable inner life. Remember this: possessions can be taken, praise can be withheld, and even your body may betray you. But a character built on honesty, courage, justice, and wisdom endures beyond all external forces. Invest in it daily, protect it fiercely. It is the one possession the world cannot touch, the one legacy you carry into every challenge, every loss, and ultimately, every moment of your life. I own my character, It is unshakable, unyielding, and eternal. These 7 lessons are not easy to hear, but they are necessary. Life owes you nothing. You are responsible for your emotions. Attachment is the root of suffering. You can't control others, only your response. Pain is essential for growth. Time is fleeting, and your character is your only true possession. Embracing these truths does not make life simpler. It makes you stronger. Each lesson challenges comfort, shatters illusions, and forces you to face reality with courage and clarity. The Stoic path is not for the faint-hearted. It is for those willing to take responsibility, act with virtue, and cultivate resilience every single day. Action challenge. Reflect on one lesson that resonates most today. Apply it deliberately. Comment below which lesson hits hardest. Share with someone who needs this truth, and subscribe for more guidance on building a life of unshakable strength. I am responsible, resilient, and unshakable. I face life boldly, guided by virtue.